All right, everybody, we are back after a couple weeks off with no UFC fights for the fifth DeepWaterMMA.com podcast. I am your host, Dan Kennard, with the connoisseur of MMA.
Among other things.
Among other things that he's a connoisseur of. Cale Loveridge, here, Deepwater MMA, podcast number 5. It's been a couple of weeks since we've talked. The last thing that we talked about was UFC 158.
Oh, yeah.
With GSP and Nick Diaz. And what do you think about all that stuff?
A little bit of a letdown main event.
A little bit, I would say.
We knew that was going to happen, though.
Yeah.
We called that.
Yeah, domination by GSP. Nick Diaz. I wrote about this a little bit. Nick Diaz did not exactly get beat up.
No.
Right, he wasn't bloodied and battered or any of the stuff that GSP said
he would try
to do. He got beat, though.
Yeah.
He got beat. There's no other way to put it. He got beat.
What did Nick say? George hits like a girl after the fight?
Yeah.
He's classic.
Apparently
man.
in between rounds.
He's talking shit in between rounds.
He's like, oh, he hits like a girl.
Yeah,
right?
but you know what? If you can't get up...
I love that.
If you get taken down and you can't get up...
Yeah, that's kind of your problem,
man.
right?
Yeah,
that's
you
kind of your
get
problem.
Up, man.
Yeah, you got to get up. I totally agree with that.
You know what was crazy? If you look at George after the fight, you would think he lost that fight. Did you see him? His face, maybe just because George is...
He did get pet. That third round got a little weird.
He's a white boy like me, and he gets all red-faced if you get too
that's
hot,
true,
you know?
Right?
So I think maybe the bruising was just a little bit more significant on him and not Nick, you know, because Nick's been in so many wars.
Yeah.
But George looked beat up after that, and I don't even really remember...
he didn't get hit.
No, if you look at the pictures, he's all like
his eyes are a little swollen.
No, it's more like his forehead and it was real red.
Yeah.
He looks like he got punched a few times in the fight, but afterwards it looked like he got beat up.
It's weird. Well, I know in that third round, like halfway into the third round, Nick Diaz started doing his like pepper boxing kind of thing.
He got a little bit
for like 30 seconds.
Exactly.
And GSP took him right back down.
Exactly.
The ground, you know, so
not to brag, but I didn't miss a fight on that card.
Yeah, you went 5. Really?
Yeah,
on the main card, you went 5-0.
I called them all
because pay attention to the connoisseur.
There you go. I called Johnny Hendricks.
Yeah, you're the only one, by the way.
I called Jake Ellenberger.
The rest of the website.
Jake Ellenberger.
Yeah.
I called. I'm sorry. I'm just. Maybe if you could help me. Who was the other?
Did you call Kamosi over ring? Did you call that one?
No, that's right. I missed one.
That's still. I mean,
I missed one.
4-1 is not. That was still better than the rest of us.
This was my point. I remember now. I've every time I've been 4-1. I think.
Really? You might
almost
have the best
every
record.
time I've been 4-1. I think I haven't picked one fight each time.
You might have the best record. You need to start putting these in writing.
Somebody needs to keep track of this stuff.
Yeah, I would do it, but I'd have to re-listen to our whole podcast to get all the picks again. You got to write that shit down.
We should write some shit down from now on.
Yeah, write that shit down, dude. Yeah, we're cursing now on the podcast. That's
yes.
It's evolving. So
it has.
It's evolved, and now we're just gonna use profanity.
As you get older, as the show gets older, you know, we're 5 now. We're starting to learn cuss words. You know?
It's the 5th show. Yeah, if we're doing it that way, right? It's the 5th year, right? I know a lot of 5-year-olds who curse.
Oh man,
I know a lot of 5-year-olds
that curse.
That's even if I just stop right there. Like, what am I talking about?
Little bastard.
But yeah. Right. So anything else from that card? I mean, I think you did do this. I think you're right about that,
dude. This is what I took away. How hard does Jake Ellenberger punch? Holy shit.
Yeah.
Gosh.
You can say it.
Dude.
Holy shit.
I almost said it.
Yeah. I picked Marquardt, and I don't know why. I wrote about that, too. It was like... the same sensation I had when Vanderlei Silva came to the ring against Brian Stan. I was like, what am I doing? I'm ruining my record by picking these stupid fights.
I've learned from picking fights, your first instinct that you get kind of thing, never turn your back on that because every time it will bite you in the ass. Right. Every time I've changed my pick, it's bit me in the ass.
Yep.
So what you feel at first for some reason, I mean, sometimes you get the wrong feeling.
Right. Yeah.
9 times out of 10 for me, that works better.
Yeah.
You know, that works better for me.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I mean, that's
the same thing with betting. Go with what you feel at first. Don't let people talk you out of it or talk you into it.
That's a good point. I like
It's not their money. It's your money.
Yes. It's your money. Yes. Um,
Don't let other people dictate what you do with your money.
yeah. No, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Same thing with like taking a test, right? Isn't that like
Yes.
the same advice? Go with your gut
Yeah.
most of the time.
Most of the time, you're
Don't
right.
overthink it. You know. Yeah.
You kind of overthought.
I think Malcolm
the,
Gladwell, the writer, wrote a lot about this. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but he wrote a whole book on intuition and
It sounds like
things
you.
like that. And not overthinking things. And
I'm into that. You might
you
have
should
to
probably read that book. That
Yeah,
should be
you might
our,
have to give that to me.
We might have just started a book club, accidentally.
Book club podcast coming
Yeah.
next week.
Tweet us, and I will buy you a copy of that book.
There you go.
If I don't know you, I will buy you a copy of that book, because how many people even listen to this? Right? So tweet me at Kennardistry on Twitter, and I will send you a used copy of that book.
Is anybody out
Prove
there?
to me that you listen
Is anybody out
to
there?
this. Yeah.
If you don't listen, if this is your first time listening, somehow you're hearing this,
Yes.
no BS, no bullshit. We've been actually picking very good fights. I'm very
Yeah.
serious about this. I've been doing this a long time.
Right.
And we both have a very, passionate feeling towards the fights
Yeah.
and picking the fights. And hey, man, I care.
Yeah,
I'm giving.
I care.
I'm giving out things that I'm betting on. All right, not big money, but I'm putting the money where my
Right.
mouth is.
Yes, money where our mouth is. That's true. There's no profit in this for us at this point. So
None.
we're just trying to help people, really. That's all. This is like a goodwill
Dude.
effort, right?
I'm like, this is like free advice that you should take.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm giving you free advice.
Forget those other podcasts. They're getting paid, right?
I'm doing this because I like it.
We're doing this because we like it. We have jobs and stuff, and we do this because we like
Which
it.
sucks.
Yeah, it sucks. So help us do this full time, actually.
There you go.
By supporting the website. Anything else before we get to UFC on Fuel TV 9? Anything
You
in
wanna
the
talk
world?
about Tough for a
of
second?
MMA? Tough? Yeah, let's talk Tough. Tough was last night, the latest episode.
We started to talk about it, and then we said, you know what?
We should record this.
We should talk. We should talk about this on the podcast.
Yeah, this is good podcast material.
I'll start with what I said. Uriah Hall is a beast.
He is a beast.
I don't even really like the guy on the show, but my mouth was wide open when he knocked Bubba out last night.
That was
just
unbelievable.
I was like,
Yeah.
this guy, and then what Chael said in the ring afterwards, you're a contender. I thought, you're right, dude.
Yeah.
He could go right now and fight anybody in the UFC for sure.
Yep. Yeah.
You know what,
I wonder how
though?
they'll handle that.
I wonder how we haven't even seen it yet. How's his takedown defense? Like, how good can he
God.
stuff a takedown?
Right.
Because everything hasn't lasted more than a couple minutes.
Right.
With the last fight, I don't even know what the official time was. It couldn't be
God,
more than
it was
10 seconds,
Not
right?
more than 10 seconds.
No way.
Bubba threw a couple punches,
What?
and Hall popped him, and it was
There-
like a
Frank
weird
Mir's
punch.
Frank Mir's in his corner, and John Jones is in Bubba's corner, and they're telling him, "Come out and you go straight at him." And I'm
go
like,
crazy.
why would you tell him that?
Yeah. Don't they
This
even play
dude,
video
did
games?
you see?
Like, that doesn't work.
Yeah, that doesn't even have work in video games.
Yeah.
Did you see what happened to the last dude that fought him? That spinning back kick. And then you're gonna tell your dude, go out there
Just go
and
get
get
him.
right in his face. Yeah, that worked out good for you there. That was,
I think...
honestly,
Yeah.
I hate to say this. I don't like to say this sometimes. That was bad coaching. Even
Yeah,
afterwards,
yeah.
Frank Mir said, "Oh, you did what we said. You went out there and you got right after him." Yeah, and look what happened.
Yeah. I think...
Go out there and get right after the toughest dude on the show.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, no, you need a better strategy against
Pick your
somebody
spot,
who's clearly good, right? Who's an excellent fighter.
Excellent.
I thought it was interesting, actually. Uriah Hall was talking about Anderson Silva and how Anderson Silva gets in the minds of people.
Oh, yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
before they even enter the ring, because they're always wondering, what
What's
is he
gonna
going to do to me? And the other side of the coin is, what am I going to be able to do to him? And I think Uriah Hall is creating the same sense about his own fighting. You know what I mean? Like, these guys on the show get in there with him, and they don't know exactly what he's going to do. He's he's smart. He's an intelligent fighter who understands the
He is.
psychology, I think, of the fight game, maybe more than some of these other guys do, you know? I thought that was a great point he made.
I can't remember the guy's name right now. I know his name. He knocked out the, this is going to sound bad, short black guy with the flying knee. I think it was the first fight. He's the tall...
That could be anybody.
I know. He's the tall English fighter.
Oh, Luke Barnett.
There you go. I just couldn't. Luke Barnett said, "I don't care if you've had 30 pro fights and you're a 15-year veteran. You see somebody get knocked out with a spinning back kick like that, you're going to go, dude, when I fight this guy, I don't want that to happen to me."
Right.
And maybe you won't be scared, but that's... like you said, I don't care
It's
who
in the
you
back
are.
of your head.
It's in the back of your head. You might hesitate.
The subconscious.
And when you hesitate,
yeah, or you think a little bit too much or something.
that's when you get spinning back kick to the face, man.
Yeah, that was brutal.
Brutal. And that right hand wasn't even perfect, and it just put his lights right out.
Oh,
Did
yeah.
you see what
Face down, dude.
his eye looked like?
Face down. His eye was busted.
Busted.
He was my eye, bro. My eye. It's like he said. I
that's
think
bad.
he said.
I shouldn't laugh at him, man. Sorry.
Yeah, it's hard to laugh at because it's your eye, but like I think Bubba was like, it's like the inside of my eye. He said something like really specific about where it hurt in his eye, which I've never even thought about.
He's like, oh, you're just. The guy says, I think he was the doctor. He says, oh, you're just cut on your eye. He's like, no, it's like the inside of my eye. I'm like, oh,
no, it's like
God.
the back of my eye or something.
It's like in the back of my head.
I didn't know your eye had so many different places where you could feel pain. You know, you just.
Oh man.
Who knows? But yeah, so it sets up right. Salmon looked good in his fight, actually.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of his attitude or whatever you want to call it. Right, a little cocky. But so far he's backed it up, and he looked good. I think I tweeted it out during his fight. He was winning the fight from the bottom, I thought. Right, he got taken down, and he's gonna have to work on that probably, but.
Nothing against that is his name.
But he was winning the fight from the bottom. He was elbows, popping them, and
what was his name? Jimmy Quinlan.
Jimmy Quinlan, yeah. He didn't really
Nothing
seem to bring
against
much.
Jimmy Quinlan, but he's a straight jiu-jitsu guy, man. He
Wrestler or jiu-jitsu?
Jiu-jitsu. He doesn't have much of any kind of striking, even on the ground. And
Yeah.
I think
He seems to be
he's
struggling
very
all the
tough, and he got there because he was tougher than a few guys. But when you get to the elite level, like it looks like Josh Salmon's a pretty elite fighter.
He's good. He'll stick around for a little while.
The double hammer
For
fist.
better or worse.
What is up with the double hammer fist?
It's like
thing?
his new trademark.
Or I guess not hammer fist. What would you just
Double punching?
Ear punch?
double ear punch? The ringing your ear, the boxing your ears, I think.
That should be illegal.
Yeah. Well, I know it was funny kind of after the fight. They were like talking in the hallway, and he was like, "Oh, sorry, bro. I had to do the double punch. I had to do the double punch."
Oh yeah, you had to do it, dude.
It's like my thing now.
Had to do it.
Yeah. So anyway, right. So I feel like there's a collision course here between Salmon and Uriah Hall. Maybe they seem like they're maybe the two best guys. And Uriah Hall, is personality-wise, like the opposite of Salmon, right? I mean, he's humble. Maybe that's why he's sort of. I don't want to, he's as a personality, right? Maybe a little bit.
I don't know if he's
exciting
humble,
or something.
but he's definitely more
Maybe I haven't watched enough.
introverted.
Yeah, introvert, more thoughtful, maybe a little more thoughtful.
Yeah, a little more introverted than him.
Right.
And then Salmon.
Salmon.
Samman.
Yeah.
That's not how you spell salmon, dude.
Yeah. Salmon's a
Go
fish.
back to school.
Yeah, come on. Spell your last
Jesus,
name
spell
right.
your name right. Can't even get his own name
We're
right.
hating on Salmon right now.
He's a dick.
We're not the only ones either.
He's a dick, man. He
From our
is.
home state of Florida, right?
Yeah, he lives Tallahassee. That's pretty far.
That's pretty far. He won't come to our door.
Nah.
He doesn't listen to this.
No.
And if he does, we'd love to have him on, actually. We would talk to Salmon.
Oh yeah.
Would we? We would take all of this back if he came on our podcast.
I might not take it back, but I'd talk to him.
I mean, between the two of us, we could agree not to take it back? I don't know.
It'd have to be by phone.
Yeah, by phone. That's all right. That's good. That's the right way to do it. We'll do it by phone. So, anything else there? Anything else to talk about? Before UFC on Field TV 9, anything?
You just talked about Anderson Silva. They just had the Anderson Silva Yushin Okami fight on.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, the other night, which was pretty crazy,
Like a
man.
replay?
Yeah. Just to watch him fight is nuts, man. I don't know if you remember, but he ends up dropping his hands. Like,
Yeah.
He comes out super pumped up and like he's doing real good, and all of a sudden he just like drops his hands. And then Yushin comes in, he's like catches him with like kind of a jab, drops him.
Yeah, what do they call it? Like an uppercut jab? It was like a
Well,
shovel jab or something?
the first time it was just a jab, and then the second time, Kenny Florian called it a shovel punch. Which
Shovel punch,
A
yeah.
shovel punch is kind of like it's not a straight uppercut and it's not a hook. It comes like from the from the side. I don't know why.
Apparently he uses
because
that.
when you
Okay.
throw a shovel over your shoulder, think about it.
That
with your
motion?
right hand. At least
If you're right-handed.
you grab the bottom of the shovel with your left hand.
Yeah.
The top with your right, and you're throwing your right hand
Yeah.
over your shoulder.
It's like a hybrid punch.
Yeah, it's a shovel punch. That's what I
That's
call it.
interesting. Apparently Anderson Silva uses that quite a bit or something. I'm not.
But yeah, the guy I used to train with shovel punched me right in the face before.
How was that?
Sucked.
Sucked.
He was huge.
All right, let's get to UFC on Field TV 9. Just a reminder for all of our listeners out there, for our tens of listeners,
All you kids out there.
All you kids listening to this, all those 5-year-old friends of mine who are tuning in to the podcast. It's live, just a reminder, it's live from Sweden at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, clear your Saturday schedule and make sure you tune into this. It should be a fun card. It's not a pay-per-view, we have to kind of keep in mind what this card is.
It's free.
It's a free card on the lowest sort of ranked Fox-owned channel, So it kind of is what it is.
That's a good way to put it.
It's not on Fox, it's not on FX, and it's not a pay-per-view, which puts it kind of on the lower tier of, options for showing fights.
I don't like this either, because not everybody has Field TV.
Yeah,
it comes with, the kind of premium package thing.
Yeah.
Which is, it's okay, but, man, put it on FX. What's wrong? Remember I've talked about this before. The
More
heck is
people have
FX
FX,
going
right?
to show on Saturday?
Another Will Ferrell movie.
No, Rob Schneider this time.
The hot chick.
Rob Schneider is a banana.
The hot chick will be on
And
again.
derpa derp.
Especially at 2 o'clock.
Remember that
on
episode
FX.
of South Park?
Yeah.
Rob Schneider is a derp.
Yeah, so
And
there'll be a
derpa
Rob
derpa.
Schneider movie on instead of fights.
On
Instead of live
FX,
fights.
watch. Tune in. On
Yeah.
FX at, what time does it start? 2 or 3?
2 o'clock. 2
2
o'clock
o'clock,
Eastern.
Derpa Derp's going to be on, starring
Something.
Rob Schneider, okay?
Yeah.
Put it
So-
on FX, alright?
Yeah.
I know Dana White listens to this.
Yeah.
He's our #1 fan.
Yeah. We're going to tweet him later and be like, hey.
That's such a lie. Ugh,
Yeah.
that was horrible.
So let's get right off the top here. Big news as of, this was yesterday afternoon
Sucks.
that this happened.
Sucks.
Right, Gustafsson he has not been cleared to fight by the commission in Sweden due to a cut on his eye, which I saw a picture of. I don't know if you saw a picture of it, but
No.
it's a pretty solid cut. It's a nice cut. It's a cut I wouldn't want to have. You know what I mean? Like if I had it on my own face.
You know what's strange? Dana White says today, the commission doesn't know what they're talking about, and he should have been cleared to fight. And I haven't seen a picture of the cut, but from when you're telling me, you can't go into a fight with a cut.
Oh, it would be bleeding
Immediately.
within 10 seconds.
At least stitch it up
or
for the
whatever.
guy.
Yeah, and if it's stitched, I mean, who knows? But Gustafsson's out of the fight. Everybody is bummed about that, especially if you bought tickets to the event and you live in Sweden, right? You're kind of bummed out about that.
He's like Sweden's hero right now.
Yeah, he's the man in Sweden.
He's the Viking.
Who else is there in Sweden?
Thor.
Oh yeah.
Troing.
Oh,
Troing?
Tor Troang on the prelims. Yeah. A few other Swedish fighters on the prelims and the main card.
That's about it. Sorry.
That's about it, though.
No disrespect to Latifi?
Yeah, Latifi. Let's talk about that guy first.
Queen
right?
Latifi.
That's great.
That's the wrong guy. I'm sorry.
That's great. That should be his name is Alir Latifi, and his nickname is the Sledgehammer.
He looks
is an
solid.
intimidating nickname.
I watched one fight of his, which was pretty. He just knocked this dude out. Which
Yeah,
he looks like a little tank, man.
Yeah,
he's a stout little dude, man.
he is a stout little dude. Yeah, he's 5'8", I think I read. Gustafsson was like 6'4", so Mousasi is dealing with a huge. What is that? How many inches is that?
Too many.
8 inches.
Too many to count.
That took too long to figure out. I think it's 8 inches.
It is.
So he's 8 inches shorter, right? And the odds, right? Because this is a MMA handicapping sort of site, podcast,
Yes.
etc. Right? We're interested in the odds. The odds went up on this fight.
I like to call it a little bit of sports betting with an edge.
Sports betting with an edge.
You know what I mean?
Right. That's right.
A little edge to it.
Crazy sports betting. Radical sports betting.
Oh man,
Right. So Gegard Mousasi, last I checked,
you have no idea.
he was minus 1,100.
That's insane.
Which I think you'd have to be a little psychotic to bet $1,100 to win $100, right?
I don't really.
Like there's better ways to.
I don't
to
get
risk that
these
money.
huge, minus 1,100 kind of.
This was Bovada, by the way. Yeah.
I mean, minus 800. Come on, minus 900.
Yeah.
You're giving the other guy no chance.
Oh yeah, no, I don't know
No
what
chance.
that calculates out to, but it's
But
I think no chance summarizes whatever that is.
This guy has a chance. I mean,
he does have a chance. That's what I thought. I thought the same.
Come
I'm
on.
like, this guy has a kind of a chance. Watching some of his videos, I mean, we're hardcore, but I don't know if we're that hardcore to know who this guy was before this.
No, I thought I knew most semi-popular fighters, but I mean, the guy's probably only fought in Sweden and stuff.
And now he's headlining a UFC card.
What?
How about that?
You know what's crazy to me?
Can we talk about that story for a second?
You know what's crazy to me? Okay, so remember Vanderlei Silva tweeted out, "Oh, April Fool's," which was stupid.
Stupid and
Masasi said it was like the dumbest thing he's ever seen in his life or something like that. How come they couldn't find? They literally couldn't find anybody that we know.
Yeah.
I know it only happened in a few days,
right?
And I understand that, but there's how many fighters in the light heavyweight division?
Kind of hanging.
I mean, I don't know, but
what's Forrest
50
Griffin doing right now?
Yeah, what are these guys doing? They have to be some kind of training.
Where's Stephan Bonner when you need him?
I mean, I'm not trying to call out Vanderlei Silva, but if you're gonna be like, oh man, this and that.
Yeah, I know where you're going with this.
Why don't they? Come on, nothing. No disrespect to Latifi, he doesn't get to headline a main event of a UFC.
Yeah, it's probably the most fortunate thing that's ever happened to anyone who's been called into a fight at the last minute.
I mean, look, Brad Pickett.
This is crazy.
Brad Pickett deserves a headline. I would change the headline to Brad Pickett, Mike Easton, and before
Switch it up.
I put
some guys up
Gegard Mousasi versus Latifi.
Yeah.
Queen Latifi.
I want to say this actually while we're talking about it. I am psyched for this fight because Latifi's such a huge underdog.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's cool to watch.
And I'm kind of rooting for him just to ruin everything, right? Yeah.
My one problem though, man.
I want him to ruin this for I want an epic knockout from Latifi. I want to see his reaction if he wins. He won't climb the cage. He will rocket out of the cage through the roof of the stadium if he wins this fight. It'd be nuts.
Sweden will go off like a nuclear bomb if this dude wins.
Sweden will explode.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they will explode, literally.
Let's talk about Gegard Mousasi for a second.
Let's talk about Gegard Mousasi.
The guy walks into the ring like he just woke up. Hair all messed up, looking like he doesn't even want to be there. Then all of a sudden the bell rings and he's a monster.
Yeah.
He's one of the
he's a talented
most intriguing guys out there, man.
He is intriguing. He's hard to figure out.
Yeah, he's hard to read. He's like the new Fedor or something. He has no emotion whatsoever. Even when he wins. I've never even seen him celebrate, I don't think, when he wins.
Great.
He just stands up like, oh, big deal.
I won, cool.
Give him my check.
Yeah. What is this? What did I just do?
What just happened?
I don't know if I just won. Yeah, so let's see. Just for the record, Alir Latifi is 7-2. Right, this is why I'm kind of excited, For all the naysayers who are bummed about this card, I'm excited, right? Alir Latifi, 7-2. He's coming in on a 3-fight win streak. All of those wins are in 2012, so he's hot.
Yeah.
Right? His last loss was to Emmanuel Newton, who, if you watch MMA as a fan, has just won the light heavyweight Bellator tournament. Nice. Right? Knocked out King Mo with a spinning back. I mean... And this is a guy. He didn't get beat up by Emmanuel Newton. I watched that fight today. It was a decent fight. Latifi had a great first round. He's kind of a burst fighter, right? He'll kind of hang back, protect himself, and then just kind of explode at you.
Emmanuel Newton's a tough dude, man.
And Emmanuel Newton's he's proving to be a tough guy.
I don't think.
I don't know if he's skilled. I don't know if he's the best
on your
guy,
record to him is a bad thing so much. I mean, any loss is bad, but you know what I mean? You don't look down and go, oh, well, he lost to Emmanuel Newton.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't lose to a guy who's 1-10 or something. He lost to Emmanuel Newton.
Right, yeah. That might be his best name on his record, you know, as we say all of that, but it should be, I mean, he has nothing to lose. He has absolutely nothing to lose, right? A couple days ago, he was... about to leave. He was about to drive somewhere. I forget who he was talking about. I watched an interview with him, but he was about to leave the country and go help some other people train their Greco-Roman wrestling. And he gets a phone call. There was a fate aspect to it because he decided to stick around for some. He didn't leave when he was supposed to leave, and not because he knew anything about this fight or whatever. But he just. It seems to me a little bit like destiny or something that Latifi gets called into this fight. It's kind of like a weird Rocky story, right?
It's like it is, man.
Like Musasi is like Apollo sitting behind a desk in a suit,
Yeah.
and you know his manager's like, "You sure you want to fight this guy?" I don't know. And Musasi's like, "Yeah, whatever, bro. It's Latifi. I don't know who this guy is. He's whatever. He's the sledgehammer. Who
It's
cares?"
Rocky Balboa. Who cares?
Right? You know, yeah. I'll give him a round or two, and then I'll beat him up, you know, or whatever. So there's, I mean, could you do you think Musasi could be a little too comfortable right now? Is that a possibility?
I think,
or does he maintain his concentration and win? Like, how do you?
I think the
see this shaking out a little bit?
the real problem with this
There's weird
fight,
dynamics. In
yes,
this fight.
the major problem that I have is Gegard Mousasi is, like I said, probably the most calm and composed fighter in MMA. I don't think he cares who he's fighting. He's fought a lot of guys. I see, you know.
Yeah.
You go down the list. What Manhoff, Souza, Hunt, Sobral, Sakaju, Gary Goodridge. I mean, come on.
Those were all, for the record, those were all back in 08 and 09.
Mousasi fought as a heavyweight before. You know, it's crazy. He fought Mark Hunt.
Good point.
You know, I mean, he's 33-3, right? Mm-hmm. Latifi's 7-2. Latifi has 9 fights in his career.
Yeah.
9 times 3 is 27. He has 3 times just more fights, not 3 times more wins. I'm sorry, than this guy has fights.
Right. Yeah, that's
I mean,
kind of an incredible point.
Experience
is a huge gap there.
I mean,
like the gap of Gustafsson's cut.
It's going to be Mousasi is not a fast starter either. It's going to be Mousasi, you know, first round coming out. The guy might put on a good first round. Second round, man, I'm telling you, Gegard Mousasi will stop this guy. Yeah. TKO second round, no problem.
Sounds like a prediction.
It'll
sounds like a prediction. Second round TKO.
Yep.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I think Latifi could possibly, as a Greco-Roman wrestler who trains other people in Greco-Roman wrestling, I think he could maybe win 1 round. I think he could win the first round.
That's what he might put on a good.
Not in any kind of fancy way. I think he'll kind of hold him down and work him a little bit. It might be a boring first round, but I think you're right. I think Mousasi, starting in the second round, kind of starts to take things over.
Don't underestimate Mousasi's wrestling either. He's fought some good wrestlers, man, and he's got great takedown defense. I don't know if you remember this. He knocked out great jiu-jitsu guy. Just won his. Just fought Ed Herman, Jacare.
Oh, Souza.
Yes, he knocked out Jacare with an up kick from the bottom.
Oh.
In Dream. So Gegard Mousasi can win any way, man. He's submitted guys. He's knocked them out.
He's a creative fighter.
He's got it all. He really. I wanted to see really bad Gustafsson Mousasi because Mousasi's hard. I think he's hard for anybody.
Yeah, he was an underdog to Gustafsson,
which would have been such a great fight. I mean, we can talk about it all day, but that's gone. But I'm just gonna make my prediction. Mousasi's too much for Latifi. Latifi's tough in the first round. Maybe not too tough.
An exciting, tempting, provocative first round from Latifi.
I mean, you might show a couple good spots.
Like the first half of a basketball game or something.
Might take him down. Mousasi gets back up, tags him, blah, blah, blah. Second round, too much.
Right.
He'll probably be tired, Latifi, after the first round.
I would imagine.
Yeah.
He has not been training for a fight.
No.
So, yeah, I think that's
Mousasi had a full fight camp.
Yeah, full fight camp. I'm taking Mousasi, too. I think second round's a good time to put a stamp on it, right? Sometime in the second round.
Don't bet on this fight.
Yeah, don't bet on this fight. Don't just enjoy the fight, maybe.
Stay away.
Just kind of stay away from this. It's not worth it either way. If you have a little extra scratch and you don't care or something, maybe Latifi just for the chance,
down, man.
just for the chance of it.
Crazy.
He could hit him. He could hit him hard and knock him out. Who knows? But Mousasi, 33-3-2. I mean, if you're talking about a guy who's fought Mark Hunt, Melvin Manhoff, Gary Goodridge, Sobral, right? These are all kind of like stand-up guys. It's unlikely that Latifi will be able to get a hand on him, really, in any kind of significant way, right? So yeah, I'm going Mousasi. I think I like your prediction. Round 2, KO, TKO, something along those lines, right?
I could see him ground and pounding him until it's over.
Yeah. All right, let's move down the card a little bit. Enough of that. Enough of the main event.
Yes.
We have Ross Pearson versus Ryan Couture. I'm interested in this fight.
The debut of
Ryan
Couture.
Did you? I wrote a little bit about this.
Yes.
I have a conspiracy theory. I don't consider myself a conspiracy theorist.
Yes.
But I have a conspiracy theory that applies to Ryan Couture. Randy Couture does not have a fantastic relationship with the UFC. He hasn't for some time.
No.
And I think they want his son to
Lose.
not have success. Yeah. However,
Well, they didn't give him the hardest opponent. Nothing against Ross Pearson, but he's not the best 155-pounder out there. I mean, he won his last fight against George Soteropoulos, but
right.
Before that he was fighting at 145 pounds, and he lost a few times in a row there. He lost to Cub Swanson, he lost to Edson Barboza, so...
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Ross, let's get some records out there. This is a lightweight fight. Ross Pearson moving back up from featherweight to lightweight.
This is his second fight at lightweight.
Okay, second fight at lightweight?
Yeah, he beat George Soteropoulos.
Oh, that's right.
In Australia.
Yeah, that's right. In Australia. That's
in the third round.
Right. Ross Pearson, 14-6. He's a pretty big favorite, minus 450. Right, as Ross Pearson.
I don't understand that.
Ryan Couture plus 325. Ryan Couture 6-1. And Ryan Couture is also on a 4-fight win streak.
Let me tell you something, man.
Tell it. Tell the people.
If you want to make a little money, here's your fight right here. Sometimes odd makers get things wrong.
Oh, yeah.
This is a pick'em fight.
That's what betting's all about.
That's right. You got to find the dogs, and you got to bet them.
Yep.
Ryan's right now, he's the dog. He's 6-1. He's on a 4-fight win streak. Randy Couture's his dad. He's got great trainers.
He's got to have great. Imagine the trainers he's got.
Ross Pearson has better boxing than Ryan Couture. I'm not going to sit here and say Ryan Couture is a better striker.
Right.
But Ross Pearson doesn't have kicks. Ryan Couture has kicks, punches. He's got to be a decent wrestler. You haven't seen it a lot in his fights. He doesn't use his wrestling a lot. I think he likes to really stand and bang, just be tough. That kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But he's a tough dude, man. If you watch the KJ Noons fight, he got rocked in the second round.
A lot of people thought he lost that fight.
A lot of people did. I mean, I think they gave it to him for being the more aggressive fighter, because KJ Noons was kind of picking him, like, stand back and countering more,
Okay.
So look for that. I mean, Ross Pearson's a tough dude. I think Ryan Couture has more tools in his bag than Ross Pearson. And that's very important when it comes to MMA.
Yeah. Look, more ways to win, maybe?
More ways to win. That's what I meant. I was just going to say he's got more ways to finish him.
Okay.
Ross Pearson's going to do one thing. He's going to try to come in there and knock him out, or TKO him.
Yeah.
Which he did against Soteropoulos. And he's tough. He's got good hands.
I think Soteropoulos is a little overrated.
Yeah, a little bit. Right. He had his moment.
So maybe that win looks better than it really is.
Plus,
in the scheme of things.
Ryan Couture is a big 155-pounder. Mm-hmm. Ross Pearson's not. He's kind of a short, stocky guy.
Right. We mentioned he's coming up from featherweight, so I mean he's got to be on the smaller side. Yeah.
And I see, is Pearson a big step up? I don't think so, man. KJ Noons is a better boxer than Ross Pearson.
KJ Noons is a boxer.
Exactly.
Right?
I was going to say KJ Noons is a boxer. Okay.
Right.
If Ryan Couture,
really
can handle KJ Noons, I think he can handle Ross Pearson.
Interesting. A couple. I'm torn on this fight, honestly. I mean, which tells you something. I mean, these odds are a little skewed if you're looking from that perspective.
I think he's getting the European hometown favorite.
The European bump.
Yep.
Or whatever.
Definitely.
Yeah, Ross Pearson has alternated wins and losses over his last 7 fights.
He hasn't won 2
and he's
fights
coming
in
off
a row.
of a win.
See, he hasn't won 2 fights in a row. I read since like 2010.
Yeah, if the trend continues, he will not win this fight if that trend continues.
I'm sorry. If you've heard me talk before, I say stick with trends.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Like trends.
I always talk about that.
You like winning streaks and trends.
Stick with this. This guy's going to lose.
Ooh. Now we're getting...
I'm telling you. He doesn't win back-to-back fights. Ryan Couture's won 4 in a row.
Is it possible he's overlooking Ryan Couture to some degree? Does Ross Pearson feel like maybe he's being given a fight?
See, what I get from Ross Pearson is that he's got pretty good coaching. Mm-hmm. I don't think his coaches will let him do that. He's a tough English guy from, South England where they make him hard as freaking stone over there. So, no, but I don't think he has as many tools, like I said, as Ryan Couture.
Couture, it's hard to...
He has to win this fight. Do you understand that? This is Ryan Couture's biggest fight of his life. This is not Ross Pearson's biggest fight of his life. If Ryan Couture loses this fight, they will cut him. Mm-hmm. He has to win this fight.
So more motivation or pressure?
Everything.
Everything?
Everything. More pressure, more motivation. It's gonna help. It's gonna help.
I mean, Couture seems like a grinder, right? 6 of his, he's won his last 2 by split decision, and 6 of his 7 total fights have gone into the 3rd round. I think if he drags Ross Pearson into, hang on a second, deep waters.
Ooh.
Yeah, what? Does Ross Pearson have the cardio to keep up with that, you think, or what? Or is he more of like a burst, first round, first and a half, like
Well, all you can
7.5 minute kind of guy?
I don't like to base it too much on. I like to go at the last couple fights. Ross Pearson really hasn't tired out. He's been beaten a little and stuff. And in the George Soteropoulos fight, I mean, he finished him in the 3rd round.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if so much cardio is going to be the issue. I think, like I said before, Ryan Couture's bag of tricks is going to be the issue.
Interesting.
Ryan Couture submitted people before. He's got submissions, and he trains with his dad.
Yeah.
And he trains with all the guys
If you train with Randy Couture,
Come
your
on, man.
dad every day,
Come on.
like you got to know some tricks. And stuff, right?
He has to win this fight. And he has to know that.
You might have just made me change my mind on the fight.
He's got to win.
Are we
this
ready to
fight,
make
man.
picks? You're picking Ryan Couture?
Oh yeah, I'm picking.
You're
Ryan
picking,
Couture.
despite the odds, you're picking
This
Ryan
is
Couture.
my underdog pick, right
Underdog
here.
pick of the card.
Yep.
Shit, man. I'm torn now. The odds are ridiculous on this, I think. I think
Remember
we've
I told you
established
earlier,
that. My gut was Ross Pearson.
Go with your gut, man.
Now you're making me think, though. I don't know what to do.
I analyzed this fight a little bit. Can you tell?
Did you? Yeah, a little bit, right? You made a really good case. It was it's like I read a paper and I was like,
Well,
oh,
I
really
try
good
to look
points.
for the dogs, and I try to get you guys, some money in your pocket here.
Right, that's a big
And
one.
I'm not bullshitting you.
I almost wrote off Ryan Couture, and I wrote off Kamosi in the last card. I totally wrote him off. I think I wrote off Vanderlei Silva on the card before that.
Mm-hmm.
Just dismissed him completely. I said no chance, right?
I said that too. That was
And a lot, and that is, I've learned through hard experience that that's a danger. When you just assume someone is going to win,
and you don't.
in my experience, it's almost never worked out.
And you don't analyze the fight.
Maybe not the proper way. I'm switching my pick. You just convinced me. I'm taking Ryan Couture.
Nice.
I'm taking Ryan Couture.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm taking Mousasi and Ryan Couture so far.
Sweet.
You just changed my pick.
I did. Just like that.
No shit. All right, well that's how that works on here, right? We think about things. I'm trying to learn lessons, right? You got to learn lessons, I think. If you're gonna do this the right way.
I've got a little.
There's trends to these. When you lose bets, there's trends to that stuff, and writing people off has not worked.
No. See, that's a trend you have.
It's a trend I have, and I want to stop that trend. And I wrote off Ryan Couture. I think I wrote him off in my column. My conspiracy theory has almost been ruined by you in the last 5 minutes.
I think I don't think. I'll be honest with you. I don't think Ryan Couture is going to be the 155-pound champion.
Right.
But I don't think he'll lose his promotional debut. He's got a lot riding on this.
He does have a lot.
And Ross Pearson, like I said, this is the biggest fight of Ryan Couture's life. This isn't the biggest fight of Ross Pearson's life.
Yeah. Okay. All right, I'm going with Ryan Couture. Any specific decision?
Decision.
Split? Does he win his 3rd split
He
decision?
might just pull off a split, man. I could totally see it happening.
That's crazy. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna go with Couture by decision, and I don't know why, but I think it's because the connoisseur has convinced me.
Hey, man, I got
He made a lot of really good points.
I got a little motto that I try to live by. Don't, experience life. Don't analyze it.
That's good.
But I have the opposite motto when it comes to money.
When it comes to money.
Analyze everything.
Analyze it. Yeah. All right, let's move down the card here. More surprises perhaps in store. A heavyweight fight between Phil DeFries and Matt Mitrione, Meathead.
The meathead.
The effing meathead right now.
Oh my god, that guy is a meathead.
He is kind of a meathead. I rewatched the Phil DeFries fight against Ollie Thompson.
He's actually pretty smart. Actually, if you're
DeFries?
no Matt Mitrione.
Oh yeah,
I just thought about that.
That's like an ironic.
He just
nickname.
looks like a meathead.
It's like Little John or something. Right? He just looks like.
It's like Little.
It's an
John.
ironic nickname. It's like the way Little John is an ironic nickname. Yeah, Matt Mitrione has lost 2 in a row. We should start with that. Is he cut if he loses this fight? If Matt Mitrione loses to Phil DeFries, is he cut? I think he is. If he loses to Phil DeFries.
I think he's got a good chance if he, really, this is my thing. Philip DeFries only has really one option here. He has to submit Matt Mitrione.
Yeah.
Matt Mitrione, sorry. Kind of combined his whole name there. Matt Trione. But yeah, like if you look at his record, he lost to Roy Nelson, and then he lost to Chet Congo.
It's a pretty boring fight. That was a famously boring fight. And I think they were just holding each other against the cage.
Congo just held him against the cage. It was ridiculous. But Roy Nelson caught him with like 3 punches in a row and just TKO'd him, which Philip DeFries is not going to do.
No.
So, what? Philip DeFries is 2-2, right?
In the UFC, he is 2-2. Yes.
And he's lost to.
He lost to 2 strikers, Todd Duffy and Stipe Miocic. Who I kind of. Where has he been? I want him back.
You know what's funny? Stipe Miocic is.
He's like the second coming of Mirko Krokop.
But he like went to the University of Idaho or something. Like he's
really?
Like, yeah.
That's surprising.
He's not from Europe, I don't think. Maybe he was born there, but he like grew up over here.
Yeah.
But this is my point. Philip DeFries has to submit Matt Mitrione, and I don't think that's going to happen. Matt Mitrione's a pretty athletic dude, pretty strong.
Yeah.
Philip DeFries,
more athletic than Phil DeFries.
Yeah, Philip DeFries has been stopped by 2 guys who are pretty similar to Matt Mitrione, big, tall, tough striker kind of guys, and
yep.
You know, I think it's going to be a tough day for Philip DeFries again. He doesn't have the best jaw out there. So.
Jaw.
I know.
Lay off, man.
Lay off the jaw, man.
I feel the same way about this one. Phil DeFries, that Ollie Thompson fight, he just grinded Ollie Thompson down, kind of uneventful until Phil DeFries sort of miraculously dropped him. It was a commentator curse. Like Joe Rogan was like, "Oh, Phil DeFries can't punch," and then at the same moment knocked Ollie Thompson down. And like you said, that's what he's gonna have to do the same thing to Mitrione here, and I just don't really see it happening. I think Mitrione. By the way, we should mention the odds. Matt Mitrione minus 335, so not maybe the greatest value on the card. That seems about right to me.
No.
Phil DeFries plus 255. I mean, you'd have to have a pretty good reason to be betting on Phil DeFries, I think. Maybe something that we're not noticing or something. Because 8 of his 9 wins are by submission, and I don't see him being able to get into a position to submit Matt Mitrione. You know what I mean?
Matt Mitrione's a pretty athletic guy, man.
Yeah, ex-NFL player.
My only problem
degree,
is this one thing. He trains with the Black Zillions.
It's like a curse.
Man.
It's like the Madden cover. if
it's
you
exactly
come out of that
like the Madden
camp,
cover.
Like you're in a weird spot already.
So let's hope the Black Zillion curse isn't true.
Yeah.
And Matt Mitrione, pulls through.
I think he gets the win here. I think he gets back on track. At least keeps his UFC contract, going a little bit longer.
Losing 2 in a row, he should win this.
Yeah.
I feel like they're kind of not giving him an easy fight, but
there's no easy fights, but I know what you're saying.
They're giving him. They're like, here you go. Here's a guy who's might be.
You should probably beat this guy.
Yeah, might be.
We need you.
Beatable for you.
People know you. We need you to keep fighting for us on these Fuel FX type cards.
Exactly.
All right, so I'm going Mitrione by KO, TKO, maybe like round 2.
Mm-hmm. Maybe just beat him up the whole fight.
Maybe just beat him up the whole time.
He's gonna win.
Yeah, he'll win. So that's that seems like we agree on that. Pretty safe. All right, here's an interesting fight.
Much more interesting.
Bantamweight, Brad One Punch Pickett versus Mike the Hulk Easton. This is like 2 superheroes or something. I don't know.
Brad Pickett, Mike Easton. The first time I saw
this might be the best fight on the main card.
You might be right. Yeah.
Other than maybe Ross Pearson Couture as an upset fight.
That might be the fight of the night right there. I didn't say that earlier, but I was thinking it. But we digress. Mike Easton, first time I saw him fight, he was fighting former WEC champion Chase Beebe, and he lost that fight, and they gave him the win. So that was my introduction to Mike Easton, because he's from the D.C. area, Maryland. They were fighting in Maryland, and it was ridiculous. Mike Easton took down pretty much Chase Beebe lay and prayed him kind of thing.
Yeah. Clay Guided him.
He did the lay and pray, and Mike Easton somehow won. It was the most ridiculous
Nick Lentzed him.
It was the most
ridiculous. These are all verbs now.
Right?
Yeah.
One of the most ridiculous decision in the history of MMA. Go watch it. Look up Mike Easton versus Chase Beebe. You might cry for Chase Beebe, but not taking anything away from Easton. He's a very athletic. Strong 135-pound guy, wrestling background.
Mm-hmm.
I know he lost to a Sun Sal, but
his last
he's
fight.
a tough dude, man. And I mean, Brad Pickett. What can you say about that guy?
He's been around the block. 22-7.
He's a badass, man.
Right, he's, by the way, Brad Pickett's the slight favorite here, -160. Last I checked, Mike Easton +130. So this is a pretty close fight.
Yep. Brad Pickett lost to Eddie Wineland in his last fight, who made a good
in a close fight, a split
resurgence.
decision.
Yep.
It was a split decision.
He just couldn't stay away from that right hand from Eddie Wineland.
Yeah, he got hit too many times.
Yep.
I think I had Brad Pickett in that fight. I think I remember picking Pickett. But yeah, he just kind of got into like a bad rhythm or something, right? Like he just kept getting hit.
Eddie Wineland is a tall 135-pound guy, too, and Brad Pickett's not a tall 135-pound guy.
Right.
I think his reach, Brad Pickett's reach, was his disadvantage in that fight, and he got kind of picked apart a little bit. And
Wineland's a good boxer.
Yeah.
It's like his main
which Mike
skill.
Easton does not do. Mike Easton will come out there and strike a little bit with you, but he wants to take you down and ground and pound you.
Yeah.
This is my whole thing with this fight. If Brad Pickett can use his transitions better and, stuff a takedown and hit him, and I think Brad Pickett's going to catch Mike Easton. That's my prediction.
Live up to his name.
I think he's going to catch him with the punch. He's going to stumble him around. It might take 10 more seconds to finish. I think somehow out of a scramble, Brad Pickett scrambles almost better than anybody in the UFC, just as good as anybody.
Yeah.
And, man, this is a tough one, though, because Mike
It is
Easton
tough.
is a beast. He really is a Hulk, man.
Yeah.
But Brad Pickett fighting in Europe, I mean, man, if he loses this one 2 in a row, he's got trouble.
Yeah.
And I think that he's motivated, and I don't think he wants to lose to Mike Easton.
I think you're right. I'm agreeing. I think an interesting little stat here is Brad Pickett's nickname is One Punch, right? Which might be misleading because he has more wins by submission than he does by TKO and KO. He's got 10 submission wins. So even if Mike Easton is able to take him down, Brad Pickett clearly has a ground game, So I think Brad Pickett may be more solid in more areas than Mike Easton.
Better rounded.
Better rounded, right? And I'm going with Brad Pickett too. I think Brad Pickett by probably a decision. I think this could be a decision kind of a fight, maybe a fun fight, but a decision fight.
Nice.
29-28, 30-27, but I think Pickett takes this one. Hopefully he can get back on track, right?
I mean, nothing against Rafael Sunsao. He's a great fighter, but I don't think he's at the same level as Brad Pickett. And, Sunsao took down Easton, so.
Right.
And Sunsao was a big underdog in that fight. I don't know if you remember that, but he was a big underdog to Easton, and he won, man.
Yeah. Well, Easton was on a streak right before that, but yeah. So yeah, I'm going Pickett. I think we're both going Pickett there. All right, let's keep moving here. Featherweight fight: Diego Brandao versus Pablo the Scarecrow Garza.
Pablo Garza's so tall, man.
Super tall.
For 145 pounds, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. It's kind of unreal.
He's like 6 foot tall or 6'1" or something. It's crazy.
That seems unsafe to me.
I know. He looks like a scarecrow.
Right?
It's a great nickname.
He's filled with straw. I don't know.
Punch him in the stomach, straw comes out.
Yeah. Diego Brandao for the record is a favorite here, -225. So a decent favorite here. Pablo Garza +175 as an underdog. Diego Brandao recently beat Joey Gambino in October of 2012. Joey Gambino. Does he wear like gold chains to the ring? Like what?
That
Joey
was the most
Gambino,
Italian
really?
name I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, are you kidding me?
Watch him not even be Italian though.
Yeah, who knows? He's probably some.
I'm Irish. Joey
He's
Gambino.
Brazilian. Yeah, what do you think about this one? I mean, Brandao, I think he was an Ultimate Fighter winner at some point, maybe Ultimate Fighter 14 or something. He's fighting out of Greg Jackson's camp. That seemed important to me. He's 2-1 in the UFC so far. He seems like a little bit of a brawler, but I don't know if that'll be a problem against the Scarecrow, right? Garza's a ground guy. Garza's a submission guy.
Yeah, he's got some knees too, though, man. He's got a nice Muay Thai kind of thing going on there. This is a hard fight for me to pick, but I just had to lean against Brandao. I think he's got the better camp. I think he's better conditioned. I think he...
Yeah, I agree.
I think he's more highly motivated. Nothing against Garza. I believe he's coming off a loss. Didn't Garza lose his last fight?
Garza has lost. He beat Mark Hominick.
That's right. That's right. I was just gonna say.
I think I could beat Mark Hominick.
Hominick.
That was
Mark
Hominick's fourth loss in a row.
Yeah, Mark Hominick's a tough dude, but I think he's in the twilight of his career.
Yeah.
You know, he's getting a little older, and especially to fight at 145 pounds. You know,
this is an insult to Hominick, but he's like entering Ken Shamrock territory or something,
man.
right? 4 in a row. I mean,
he's only like probably 33 or something too, which is the craziest thing.
Yeah, he lost 4 in a row. Pablo Garza beat him by unanimous decision. That was back in November. Before that, he lost to Poirier and Bermudez. I feel the same. I think Brandao beats him. I'm going with like a second round TKO by Diego Brandao. If it's not a TKO, I think he avoids the submissions of Garza and just kind of beats him up a little bit.
I think he'll game plan for Garza really good coming from Ed Jackson. He'll just he'll be on point, and he at least I think he should be. Yeah, that's the way I like to think of things. He should be.
Should be. I agree with that.
That's my way.
Brandao. Yeah, I'm taking Brandao in that one.
You hate to say things like this, but anything can happen in a fight.
Oh yeah,
But I like to go with what should happen.
Right. That's what we're in the business of here, right? What should happen based on reason, logic, previous experience,
all that,
previous observations,
all
right?
That crap.
All that crap. All that meaningless crap. Last fight on the main card. This is a 6-fight main card. Is another featherweight fight. A lot of lower weight classes on this card, by the way, which, how do you feel? I think that's great. These guys put on fantastic fights.
I like it.
Right? So the last fight here on the main card is Akira Kurosani versus Robbie Problems Peralta. I love his name. Like, you got problems.
You got problems, kid.
Nice alliteration, too. Problems Peralta. Peralta's the favorite. He's minus 365. So a pretty big favorite. Is that he's the third biggest favorite on the card?
I don't know a ton about Akira Kurosani.
Yeah, he's Swedish. Does that mean anything to you?
Hometown boy, you know.
Hometown.
Robbie Peralta's got a lot of hype, at least around him. You know, he's supposed to be a really good fighter, man. Mm-hmm. And we haven't seen much of him. 2 fights in the UFC or something, or what?
3 fights. Yeah, he's 2-0-1. I think he had a no contest.
A no contest,
at some point. Illegal strike or something.
But I don't remember that at all.
It might have been an undercard fight. Peralta has a 10-fight streak going. It's not a complete winning streak. He's got a no contest mixed in there. That would be that 2-0-1. And that 10-fight streak goes all the way back to 2009. So he's got 4 years of not losing a fight, basically. Akira Kurosani, not quite the same case. He won a controversial split decision over Andy Ogle back in September.
You know what? I remember that now.
Apparently Ogle had him in a crucifix, was beating him up in the 3rd round, and
rocked him in the 1st round.
Yep.
I remember this guy.
Yep.
Was
Your
this right?
memory is incredible.
That's crazy.
I read this to remember, and you just remember.
Yeah, I don't have a paper or anything. It's ridiculous. Dan shows up. He's got all these great notes and stuff, and I have nothing. He got rocked in the 1st round, from what I remember. Came back, did pretty good in the 2nd.
Yes.
And then spent almost 4 minutes or something in the crucifix. 3 minutes in the crucifix.
Surviving or something, which all credit to surviving, but how do you
And somehow he won.
Yeah.
And wasn't this in Australia?
I don't know about that.
I think it was.
Even I don't remember that.
I think it was in Australia.
I would trust you, though. I trust you.
Or Britain. It was either in Australia or Britain. But, okay, I remember now.
So, and that was his UFC debut.
Yes.
So he's really he's 1-0 in the UFC. So there's not a lot to really know about him.
No.
He's 10-3. All 3 of his losses are by TKO or KO, and they all happened in round 2.
I remember that because I remember Andy Ogle got robbed really bad. And I remember being like, wow, that was crazy.
Yeah, I think that hurt.
And it was some other commission, who... you never know.
Yeah.
Anyways, prediction, 10-fight win streak, goes to 11.
Yeah, goes to 11. I'm with you, man. Robbie Problems Peralta.
Streak it, baby. Come on.
He won his last fight in 23 seconds. And if I'm looking at the losses by Kurosani, they're all by TKO or KO. So I'm thinking that adds up
bueno.
To, that's problems for Akira Kurosani.
Yes.
Right there. Right? So, Kurosani, I think the odds are right on this one. Peralta's a big favorite, as he probably should be.
I think Karma's
not a ton of value.
I think Karma's gonna
betting-wise.
punch Corsani right in the face in this one.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
He's gonna try and punch him in the face.
Well, no, I mean.
Oh, Karma.
Yeah, Karma, because of his last win, he didn't really
Yes.
win that fight.
Right.
And,
Right.
Yeah, he might have
What
some
goes
little
around comes around.
something coming his way via
Yep.
Robbie Peralta.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, dude, I grew up skateboarding and stuff. You got to get on Robbie. His name should be Power Peralta. Okay, Powell Peralta. Like the skateboards, Powell Peralta. Come on.
That is a reference that I don't know. Is that a skateboarding reference?
Yeah, man, Powell Peralta. Skateboarding reference in the MMA. You like
There you
that?
go. Nice. I like the connection.
Tony Hawk, Powell Peralta.
There's a nice little undercard too, right? Michael Johnson's fighting. I think Michael Johnson will win. I'm actually really interested in this Irish fighter, Conor McGregor. Have you heard about this guy at all? Let me just talk to you for a minute about this guy. Ben Blackmore,
no idea.
right? Ben Blackmore of the ESPN UFC podcast,
Yes.
which is a fantastic podcast.
Yeah.
Has apparently been following this guy for years, right?
Huh.
And he's finally making his UFC debut.
Ooh, against Marcus Brimage.
Marcus Brimage. This is
Dude.
a prelim fight.
Marcus
so
Brimage is tough, man.
Conor McGregor, a slight favorite, minus 165 against Marcus Brimage, who's plus 135.
What are they fighting at?
They are fighting at, I believe it's lightweight. I want to say lightweight. But here's the deal with Conor McGregor. First of all, he's Irish. If you've ever seen Snatch with Brad Pitt, he talks like Brad Pitt. You
Yes.
can't, I listened to an interview, and I don't
him.
even know what he said. Right? He was saying things, and I don't even know what he was talking about. He's 12-2. 11 of those wins are by KO or TKO.
Wow.
And he was a 2-division champion in Cage Warriors.
Wow, man.
I mean, if Ireland needs a star, this could be the guy right here. Conor McGregor.
I think I'm going to look up some YouTube after
Yeah,
this.
YouTube it. His nickname's Notorious, right? Marcus Brimage, though, I mean, he's no slouch, right?
No.
I was excited to talk about this, but Marcus Brimage, no slouch. He's on a 4-fight win streak, but they're all by decision, you know? So he's not like a finisher. Conor McGregor's
He's really
a finisher.
tough. Marcus Brimage is just really, he's
Tough.
a grinder.
Yeah.
That's, he
Conor
doesn't-
McGregor. I'm all over Conor McGregor.
Oh, man, I
gotta
gotta
say.
watch these prelims.
I'm all over Conor McGregor.
I'm recording this because there's...
2-division champion? I mean...
Is this
What?
bad that I'm going to even admit this? I'm
You're
going to
okay.
have to record it because there's the Oyster Fest this weekend.
Oyster Fest.
Dude.
Your priorities?
I'm going to watch it.
Oyster Fest?
I'm just saying I got to go to the Oyster Fest first.
Gotta go to the Oyster Fest, and then you'll have this to do
Gonna
later
eat me
on.
some oysters.
Eat some oysters. So yeah, I'm kind of psyched about Conor McGregor. Anything else? That's pretty much the UFC on Fuel TV 9. We
That's
we
it,
did the
man.
main card.
We killed it.
Yeah, we killed it again. Hope
We just
everybody's
kicked
listening.
Fuel TV on 9's ass.
Yeah, we just. I don't know what I was gonna say.
Were you going to back me up?
I was gonna say something.
Yeah, we kicked
I
their
was
ass.
gonna make a metaphor about how we kicked its ass, but.
We beat UFC on Fuel TV 9 like a redhead stepchild. Okay?
That's it. Yeah.
Is that what you're looking for?
Yeah, something like that.
Nice.
Something like that. Yeah, we gay guard Musasi'd Fuel TV.
Oh, yeah. We were
Nice.
just coming in like we just woke up.
It was tough at first, and then we totally
We
dominated
came in like
the
we
rest
just
of the
woke
way.
up
Yeah.
and drank a beer, and then we just whooped its ass.
All right, so that wraps up the latest podcast of DeepWaterMMA.com.
Do you want to go over the picks real quick? One more time.
Picks, let's run through them one more time. Go ahead.
So Musasi,
We're taking Musasi.
we're taking Ryan Couture over Ross Pearson.
Did we agree on every fight?
Yes.
We did. All right.
We're
that's
taking
good.
Matt Mitrione over
Yes.
Philip DeFries. We're taking Brad Pickett over Mike Easton.
Yes.
We're taking Diego Brandao over the Scarecrow Pablo Garza.
Mm-hmm.
And we're both taking Robbie Powell Peralta over Akira Corsani.
Yes. And I'm
And
throwing
look-
in an honorable
yes.
mention to Conor McGregor.
Conor McGregor.
Conor McGregor.
Ah,
Don't understand a word he
shite.
said. He seems fantastic.
I'll kick the shite out of you.
Yeah, so that's it. That's it for this latest Deepwater MMA podcast. Any fights to recommend?
Yes. I'll check this out.
Check it out.
I'm gonna recommend you watch Pride 33, The Second Coming. It's when Pride came to America for the second time.
Vegas.
Every fight is good.
Just the whole
watch
thing.
it.
Just get the whole thing.
Just watch the whole thing, man.
Just get the whole thing.
Every fight's good. It's
Was
awesome.
that the last Pride?
That was Vanderlei Silva,
One of the
Dan
last
Henderson. That was a bunch
Oh,
of them.
man.
I won't spoil it for you. Just
All
look
right,
it up.
don't- yeah.
Shogun, Alistair Overeem.
Google it. Google it. All right, that's us. That's us signing off. Good luck out there this weekend, and we'll get back together next week for what? UFC on, what is it, Fox?
UFC on
Possibly?
Fox.
UFC on Fox. All right, so we'll be back next time. Thanks, everybody.
Peace.